What's the availability heuristic fallacy? It's a cognitive bias that fools us into believing that what's most easily remembered is the most true. And it can badly skew our perception of risk. Hi, I'm Graeme Newell, and I use the latest neuroscience insights to show you how to make smarter money decisions. My speeches and webinars teach how to recognize the signs that an impulsive decision might be likely. Click on subscribe and the bell below to see more of my videos. When a story about shark attacks shows up, beach attendance often takes a big hit. Years of Hollywood movies and news stories have trained us to automatically scan the waves for a shark fin before we dive in. This is the availability heuristic fallacy in action. Shark attacks are very exciting, but they're also crazy rare events. More people die at the beach from falling coconuts than from shark attacks. Our perception of risk gets skewed because big, scary sharks are easier to remember than bland, uninteresting coconuts. Horrifying plane crashes are easier to remember than dull car rides, so many people neglect their seatbelt, but they buy plane crash insurance. Deaths from gun violence are much easier to remember than suicides, yet gun owners are exponentially more likely to use that gun on themselves than on an intruder. And one of the most damaging places you'll find the availability heuristic fallacy is in the world of money. Researchers have uncovered an amazing phenomenon called the Hathaway Effect. Every time the actress Anne Hathaway was in the news with a hit movie, the investment firm of Berkshire Hathaway experienced a buying surge. The public's instinctual brain got primed to the word Hathaway, and that haphazard top-of-mind cue triggered a Berkshire Hathaway buying spree. Big moves in the market get our attention. We're more likely to buy stock after a positive earnings surprise, often the very worst time to buy. Negative news grabs attention and triggers panic selling. Now, some investors play the upside of the availability heuristic fallacy. These savvy buyers have created what's called the Beatdown Index. They buy into companies at their lowest point, right after a big management scandal, a supply chain crisis, or some other frightful news. They use cognitive bias as a winning investment strategy. A product recall doesn't just drag down the share price of one company, it drags down the price for the entire sector. The bad news brings that sector top of mind. Both investors and consumers succumb to the availability heuristic fallacy. So how can you protect yourself from this cognitive bias? Well, there are 3 specific situations when you're most likely to slip up. Number 1, you're multitasking and not focused. We want to make important decisions with cold stone reason. When we multitask, our instinctual brain is more likely to entice us to make an impulsive decision. Number 2, we're a novice and not an expert. Experts have a wider pool of knowledge to draw on. Novices tend to rely on gut instinct more and are more easily swayed by cognitive bias. Number 3, we're in a good mood. When we're happy, we're more likely to drop our guard. Decisions come quicker and with less consideration. The upside of being cranky is that we tend to more carefully examine important decisions and rely less on gut instinct. So if that investment feels like a good thing to do, but you can't seem to find a solid reason why, that's when you know you're headed for trouble. I've created tons of videos on the availability heuristic. Click on this box to see the full playlist. And if you'd like to learn more about how brain science can help you make smarter money choices, click the subscribe and the alert bell below. I'm Graeme Newell, and that's Better Decisions Through Brain Science.